Has something happened?
My daughter, Pavlena. Remember her? She was here when I was healing you two.
I remember. What's wrong with her?
She's missing. It's not like her to be wandering around like that. She goes to Troskovitz to sell baskets, but she knows I can't manage on my own, so she never stays away for long. These old eyes of mine can't see nothing much. Pavlena has to take care of me. She's a good girl, that lass of mine. I'm very worried about her. You understand? What if something's happened to her? God forbid. I can't look for her myself, but you could. I know I'm asking a lot of you, but I've no one else to turn to.
Do you think anyone might want to hurt Pavlena?
These are evil times, Henry. I dread to think what could happen to a young girl alone on the road. And besides, the folk in Troskovitz ain't too fond of us.
What have the Troskovitz people got against you? Did something happen?
I'd rather not talk about it, Henry. I wouldn't want you to get the wrong impression about us.
But what if her disappearance is connected with it? Tell me about it, good wife.
Well, we haven't always lived here in the rocks, you know. We're from Troskovitz originally.
Right. And how come you left?
Left? They threw us out. A childbirth went awry, and we were driven away by all the lies told about us.
Went awry? What happened?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm sure the good folk of Troskovitz will be only too keen to tell you.
Where exactly was Pavlena going?
To Troskovitz. She was taking wicker baskets she'd made. She sells them there and uses the coin to buy what we need. Sometimes it takes her a while, but this time she said she'd be right back. I have a bad feeling about this.
Did it occur to you she might have run off? She's a young girl and pretty. What kind of life does she have here in the woods? Maybe she wanted to live a little.
You don't know Pavlena. She's not like that. If she wanted to live a little, she'd tell me straight out. She doesn't keep things from me. Don't imagine I keep her here against her will, or that I don't know what it means to be young.
Pavlena is young and, well, no offence, but you seem a little old to be her mother. Is she really your daughter?
She is. Not by birth, but that doesn't change anything. Her mother died in childbirth, and there was no one but me to take care of her.
And who was Pavlena's birth mother?
A girl from the charcoal burners. They left the county, and I think she had no one else. I buried her myself. No one came for her.
And do you know anything about Pavlena's father?
I don't know who he was. Pavlena's mother was very young, and the fella surely abandoned her when her belly grew. She never told me nothing about him.
Well, as a midwife, I'm sure you've seen it often that, well, that the mother doesn't survive childbirth.
All too often, lad. But that's the lot of women. Or is it any different where you're from?
No, it's not. True enough.
See then? Now, can we just keep our minds on Pavlena?
All right, good wife. I'll try to find Pavlena for you.
Thank you, Henry. Like I said, she was heading for Troskovitz. You should start looking there.
All right. I'll ask around there for her.
And maybe you could look in her room in the loft. My old legs ain't up to climbing stairs, but you might find some clues there.
So, Pavlena, What have you left for me? Like she got up and went straight out. She's got unfinished work here. Hey, this is a boy's cap. Does Pavlena wear it? Or did someone leave it here? I had a look in Pavlena's place in the loft.
And? Did you find anything?
I found a cap there. A man's cap. I don't suppose Pavlena would wear something like that.
You're saying she had some young man here? I'd surely have noticed.
I don't know, good wife. I'm just saying what I found.
Could she have found herself a beau in Troskovitz?
She's got unfinished work there. She weaves baskets.
Aye, she usually has a few on the go. But she took them to the market in Troskovitz. We've got nothing here but what we make ourselves, or find in the woods. Pavlena weaves baskets very nicely. Folk buy them from her.
I need some help. I'm looking for Pavlena, a girl from Zhelyov. She comes here to Troskovitz selling baskets and ointments, and she didn't come back from her last rounds. Do you know anything about her?
Oh, I know the girl you mean. I've seen her with that woodcutter lad. Roman, I think. Try asking Dushko. He knows all the woodcutters. He lives along the way from the rat house to the butcher's.
What are you yelling for? What's going on?
I'm looking for my friend Roman. He works with us in the woods and we need him now. But I can't find him. Have you seen him?
I haven't met any Roman.
If he's off again with that basket girl from Zhelyov.
Are you talking about Pavlena? I'm looking for her.
Aye, that's her. Roman's been teaching her about nature, if you get me.
Where do you think Pavlena and Roman might be?
Not long ago, Roman was talking over a beer about how him and Pavlena wanted to leave and start a new life. Somewhere where no one knows her and her ma.
You think they'd really do it?
I took it all with a grain of salt, but after what he told me last time, anything is possible. For Christ's sake, he's got a whole house his pa left him. He wouldn't just leave it on account of her, would he?
Well, I don't think either that Pavlena would just run off and leave her mother alone.
You never know with women. And what's more... No, I shouldn't say nothing about that. Best to go and look in Roman's house. He wouldn't just leave empty-handed, right?
Wait, though. What was it you were going to say about Pavlena? What did Roman tell you? Why would he want to move away with Pavlena now?
No, I shouldn't have said anything. I promised I wouldn't tell anyone.
Look at me. You can trust me. I won't breathe a word to anyone.
Oh, all right. Pavlena is expecting a child. It's Roman's bastard.
Really? And who else knows about it?
Roman says he told only me. But who Pavlena might have told, I couldn't say. I don't reckon she's got many friends, though.
Now I see why they wanted to leave together.
Aye, that's just what I was thinking. We really should check out Roman's house. Then we'd know for sure.
All right. Let's go and take a look at Roman's.
Great, that is, you can go there.
Hang on, you said you two were friends. Why would I go there alone?
For one thing, I have to work. And besides, how would it look if anyone saw me breaking down his door? My reputation would be ruined, whereas you, no offense, you're a stranger. You don't have to worry about your good name, do you? But me, I'd lose my livelihood.
How do I get into Roman's house?
Through the door, of course. Only it's locked. I tried it. You'll have to figure something out.
Well, I can do it. But you ought to give me something for insurance. I'm the one sticking my neck out here. Well, if I'm caught there, I'll need a few groschen to bribe the catchpoles, so I don't end up in the stocks.
True enough. Here you are. This ought to do it. After you search the place, come back and let me know what you found. I'll be around here somewhere.
Nobody home. But maybe Pavlena was here. It's set for 2. Freshly eaten. And there are the baskets Pavlena came here to sell. They were here for sure. Maybe they just went for a stroll. Dushko might know about their favorite spots.
I searched Roman's house.
And what did you find?
Well, there's no one there, but Pavlena had been there for sure. The table was set for 2, and I found the baskets that she sells too.
You're right. It sure does look like she was there.
It can't have been long ago either. The food was still fresh. Any idea where they might have gone?
Well, they've got a favorite spot down by the stream. You could try looking there.
Where exactly?
There's a ditch leading from Roman's house to the stream. Follow it down the hill. When you come to a place where the stream flows between the 2 big boulders, turn left and go straight. There it is, under an old linden tree.
All right. Thank you.
But, mind you don't walk into the middle of anything, awkward. And tell that lazy bastard to get his ass to work. I'm not going to do his work for him.
This must be the place Dushko was telling me about. How the local lads bring their girls over here.
Christ, there must have been a fight here. It's covered in blood. Used as a weapon, maybe. Blood. I hope it's not Pavlena's. This is surely Pavlena's. A piece of her dress. This doesn't look good.
If I had Mutt here, I could let him sniff it. Oh well. Never mind.
Oh, Jesus.
Come here.
Who's this? Someone must have killed him and buried him here by the woods.
Ladybird, where the
And the pigs dug him up. I should try and find out who's herding those pigs. Maybe they saw something.
Ladybird, come back before a wolf eats you. Ladybird, come home.
I found a stray pig.
That's great. I lost a sow somewhere. Where is she?
Not so fast. It's munching on a corpse back there in the forest.
Blessed Virgin! What corpse?
I don't know. Never saw him before. Probably someone from the village. A young fella. Ginger hair.
Christ above. That must be Roman. There ain't no other young redhead in the village. I saw him going through the glade with his girl. Oh, Christ! I think I'm gonna throw up.
Did you say Roman was with a girl?
Aye, with that young lass what sells baskets here sometimes.
Pavlena?
Aye, that's her. Oh, you think the girl might be mixed up in his death?
I hope not. I'm trying to find her too. Who are you?
My name is Hugo. I herd hogs. I take them to the woods to forage for acorns and nuts. But I ain't got nothing to do with no cops, if that's what you're asking.
Have you seen anything suspicious going on around here?
Suspicious? Like how?
I don't know. Someone carrying or dragging something? That corpse didn't walk there on its own.
Hang on now. I did see something a bit odd. One of the farmhands came from the woods in a big hurry. And he was carrying a spade.
Which one of them was it?
Straw! That is Slavobor. But everyone calls him Straw. He works on Yakash's farm. A big farmstead in the south of the village. Oh, do you think he could have killed Roman?
Who knows? But it does seem like he buried him.
God's truth.
Thanks for your help. I better go and find that farmhand.
Aye, and if he really done it, give the murdering fucker what he deserves.
I heard they're going to cut down the old oak at the crossroad road. Oh no. Why?
I'm looking for Pavlena, the daughter of the herbwoman from Zhelyov. Do you know her?
Aye, I do. Pavlena still comes here from time to time, selling baskets, ointments and whatnot. I ain't seen her around in a while, though. Why are you looking for her?
She hasn't been home for a long time, so Bozhena sent me to look for her. When she left, she was heading here.
If I was you, I'd go and ask at the rat house. Or Jezek the cooper. That old goat had his eye on her one time. Only she wouldn't have him if he was the last man alive. Can't say I blame her. That Jezek's a drunken sot.
What's this Jezek like? And what do you mean about him having his eye on Pavlena?
He wanted to get married, and no sensible girl around here would have a drunkard like him. So he figured Pavlena might be an easier bet. He promised her a home in the village, but the girl wasn't so dumb as to fall for it. He's hardly got 2 groschen to rub together, and his house ain't no palace neither. All she'd have out of it is a heartache, and a bunch of brats as pig ugly as their old man.
And where might I find this Jezek?
If he ain't boozing here at the tavern, he'll be on the way here or at home.
Thanks.
And do you think this Jezek might have done something to her? Like abduct her because she scorned him?
Nah, he ain't got it in him. He's all mouth, but he'd never raise his hand to a woman. And even if he did, Pavlena would probably give him a hiding. Just recently, he got a black eye from this skinny fella here. He's a weakling and a wretch. He wouldn't have a chance with Pavlena.
Do you think anyone would want to harm Pavlena?
Bozhena's not too popular here since that misfortune with Yakesh's wife, Ludmilla. But no one holds a grudge against Pavlena. She was only a young lass at the time.
What was that about a misfortune with Ludmilla?
That was way back. She was the midwife here. She'd give the women herbs and whatnot when they called for her. But then something happened when she was helping out at Yakesh's. His wife, Ludmilla, died, and a child was stillborn. A tragedy it was, and then Bozhena, she left.
Just like that?
Well, to tell the truth, we drove her out.
Oh? Why was that?
Better ask Yakesh if you want to know more. He's often by his son's grave. It's next to the farm.
Who are you praying for?
For my son, Yaroslav.
How come he's buried there and not at the cemetery?
He died during birth and was never christened, so he couldn't be buried in the cemetery.
God have mercy. I'm sorry about that.
Aye, me too. If it hadn't been for that treacherous old hag, he wouldn't be here under a tree. He'd be in the churchyard, as he ought to be. The poor, innocent soul. Or standing right here next to me.
Old hag? Who are you talking about?
The midwife, Bozhena. My wife, Ludmilla, gave birth to 3 daughters. Quick and easy every time. The village women often scream all day and night before they bring their babies into the world. Not my Ludmilla. When she had Marushka, it was all over before the midwife even got here. But when Yaroslav was coming into the world, you know, I knew already I'd finally have a son. I never sent for no help. Why would I? After all, Ludmilla done it all on her own 3 times. And besides, that Bozhena is an unclean woman and a witch, only this time something went wrong. Of course I wasn't there, being a God-abiding man. I was outside. But Marushka comes running out, shouting, "Pa! Send for Bozhena! Ma's poorly!" I thought twice about it, but then I sent for her. She came along with a little girl, Pavlena, and a whole sack of herbs. She started brewing right away, and before the night was out, she was pouring God knows what kind of concoction down Ludmilla's throat. It's a wonder she didn't poison her, the crone. I couldn't get a wink of sleep all night. It wasn't till daybreak that Bozhena came out of the house, carrying in her arms. They could see right off it was a boy. Like I said, only Yaroslav came out feet first. And as they were pulling him out, well, he was all Mother of God. I can't even say it. It was that Bozhena's doing, I tell you. If she hadn't pulled him out and left Ludmilla to manage herself, he could have lived.
So you still blame her for it?
And why shouldn't I? I haven't told you the half of it yet. I asked the priest, and he told me every midwife has the sacred right to perform baptism when things go wrong. Like when it looks bad for the child, see? She can baptize him, make sure he gets to heaven. And you know what Bozhena did?
What?
Not a thing. She looked at that little body lying still and didn't do a damned thing. And my wife died a few hours later. So I'm sure you understand what I did after that same evening. I got the other fellas from the village, and we drove that damned witch out beyond the boundary stone.
I see. She lives in the woods now.
A good thing, too. She hasn't shown up here since. Many times I told myself we should have done more to her, so she'd know how I felt.
I understand your pain, but it wasn't Bozhena's fault. She saved my life when I was wounded and lost in the woods. She's a good soul.
That's all well and good. But believe me, that witch will never wash clean her sins.
I'm looking for Straw, your farmhand. I believe he was involved in a murder.
A murder? What murder?
The woodcutter Roman was killed, and his body buried in the forest.
Sweet Jesus! But why would Straw, of all people, do something like that? He didn't even know Roman that well. Straw is here on the farm somewhere, so ask him about it. But be careful. We could drag you before the bailiff if you make any false accusations.
Are you the one they call Straw?
Yeah? Why?
I know everything. I know you buried Roman's body in the woods.
What? How could you? That's not true!
It's no use trying to wriggle out of it. I have a witness.
Shit. Fuck! I didn't want nothing to do with it, I swear. It's all that girl's fault.
Where is Pavlena?
I ain't telling you nothing.
Take it easy. I don't want to do you any harm. I just wanted to know what really happened with Pavlena and Roman.
All right, then. Well, it all began in the tavern. We were boozing with Yakish. He don't go to the tavern much, but when he does, me and my brother go along too. Even though we're just his hired farmhands, he buys us wine.
Yeah? Go on.
When Yakish got drunk, he started remembering that day when his wife and son died. It happened during childbirth. And to this day, Yakish blames Bozhena, the herb woman, for it. She was the midwife. I don't know if it was really her fault, but anyway, the boy died and she didn't baptize him, even though she had every right to do it. The little fella died unchristened, so his soul is damned for all eternity. That's not right.
Actually, children who die unbaptized aren't damned. They go to a place called limbo. In Latin, limbus infantium. It's a place for souls who haven't sinned, but haven't had original sin washed away by baptism.
But they can't be buried in the cemetery, right?
No. But enough about that. You said you were in the tavern with Yakesh.
When he had 3 or 4 jugs inside him, Yakish started on about how he'd give anything to see Bozhena suffer the same pain as he did. It wasn't enough for him that they drove her out of the village that time. He wanted to pay her back even more.
I hope for your own good this isn't going where I think it's going.
No! Listen, my brother Ota, he was always the sly one out of the two of us. He came up with this idea that we'd lie in wait for Pavlena when she came to sell her baskets.
I see. Bozhena's daughter for Yakish's son.
No, it wasn't like that. We didn't set out to kill her, just to give her a bit of a hiding and tell her not to come back here again. Then we'd lie to Yakish that she was dead, and he'd reward us with... well, he's got 2 girls to marry off, and Marusha's a pretty one. But he'd never let either of them marry a hired hand unless I'd done him a worthwhile service. See?
Oh, so you two just ambushed that poor girl? Where is she now? Answer!
We followed her along the path to the pond, and then we jumped her. Only then her fella turned up, Roman. As soon as he saw us, he charged us like a wounded boar, and he held my brother by the throat and pounded him like a madman. So I grabbed a rock and smashed him over the head with it. I never seen so much blood. I didn't mean to kill him, I swear.
God almighty. And what did you do with Pavlena?
She was stunned when she saw what happened. So my brother grabbed her and dragged her into the rocks while I went to bury Roman. We couldn't just let her go after she'd seen everything.
Where in the rocks?
To the south of Zhelyov. There's a kind of gorge there. An abandoned poacher's hide with a ladder leading to it. I've told you everything. What are you going to do with me?
Both of you should be tried justly for what you did. I'll take you to the bailiff and leave the rest to him.
Kurva, I really didn't want it to end like this.
I brought you Slavobor. They call him Straw, from Yakesh's farm. He and his brother attacked Pavlena and killed Roman. Then Straw buried him in the woods.
For the love of God, Straw! Is this true?
We didn't mean to kill anyone. We just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, and Roman went for us. It was self-defense.
Henry, is it true what he's saying?
Christ, what now? Straw's not telling the whole truth. He and his brother attacked Pavlena, thinking they could get something out of him.
I might have known. We'll keep Straw under lock and key until I decide what to do with him. Thanks for bringing him in, Henry. Roman was an honest Christian. It's a great shame.
Stop there! Don't come any closer, or I'll cut her throat. I swear to God, don't try any tricks. Turn around and go right back where you came from. This one false move and she's dead. I mean it. Don't move, you whoreson. Who the fuck are you?
Easy. There's nothing to fear. I won't hurt you. Just look at me. I wouldn't hurt a fly. I just want to talk to you.
Oh yeah? What do you want to talk about, eh? You don't know shit. You've no idea what that girl and her witch of a mother did.
Calm down. We can sort it all out. I know Pavlena and her mother. They saved my life.
Ha! And you've come looking for her out of gratitude? Tell me who sent you.
Her mother sent me. She's worried about Pavlena.
Shit. I might have known that old witch would send someone. Kurva. I never wanted it to end like this. You gotta believe me. I just wanted to give Pavlena a scare, but then that fool Roman got mixed up in it and... I never meant to kill anyone. Shit.
Take it easy.
Don't fucking tell me to take it easy. How did you get here? My dog Bristly was guarding the entrance. What did you do to him, you bastard? And where's my brother? He should have been here long ago. Talk, or I'll slit her throat.
Don't worry, your dog is just fine. I gave him the slip.
You treacherous rat! You wanted to sneak up on me from behind, eh? Well, Bristly will be waiting for you.
Your brother is fine. He sent me here to talk to you. He doesn't want you to kill Pavlena.
Why would he take you into his confidence?
I promised him help. And I can help you, too.
Quiet, damn it! I have to think.
I know everything. I know what happened that time between Yakesh and Bozhena.
Then you know we were in the right.
I don't know what Yakesh told you, but he certainly doesn't want Pavlena harmed. She was just a little girl when it happened. You can't punish her for it.
Fuck! I know! Only we're murderers now, and that can't be undone.
Well, there's always a way out. Let Pavlena go, and we'll talk things through. I don't know what more I can tell you. It's time for you to make your mind up. You don't want to burn in hell, do you? Repent before God, and he'll forgive you. Let Pavlena go.
She knows everything. She'll tell on me and I'll be fucked!
Now, Pavlena can say what she likes, but it'll make no difference if I have a word with Lord von Berghoff. Then you won't have to fear the bailiff or anyone else.
What? You could do that?
Sure. You can see I belong to the gentry.
That could maybe work. Alright. I'll let her go. Alright. Just take it easy. I'm letting her go.
Die!
Look!
Die! Die! That's for Roman! You bastard!
You killed him. But he let you go.
So what? He deserved nothing better.
No, you're right. He had it coming.
Yes, for what he did to Roman. I have to get out of here. Will you take me back home?
Sorry, but I want to clear something up before we go.
What's that?
Are you alright? You're not hurt?
No, I'm fine. Just a few scratches. It's nothing.
What exactly happened? How did Roman die?
He was trying to protect me. If he hadn't come along, I don't know what those beasts would have done to me. Only that big brute grabbed a rock and smashed Roman over the head with it. He fell straight to the ground. I could swear he was looking at me the whole time. Even though he was lifeless, like he was trying to tell me to run.
I know you're expecting Roman's child.
You know? But how?
Roman's friend Dushko told me.
Roman and me, we wanted to leave here and get married, but now... You won't tell Ma, will you?
Why not?
I'm afraid. Ma knows how to, get rid of a child. I'm afraid after what happened to Roman, she'd want to take the baby from me.
Don't worry. I won't breathe a word to anyone.
All right.
That's all I need to know.
So, can we please go now?
We can go. I'll go with you.
Good. I don't want to spend another moment here.
Of course.
Let's go then.
Here we are. Pavlena's fine.
Pavlena, let me look. Are you all right?
I'm fine, Ma. They
They abducted her.
God almighty. Who would do such a thing?
they were hired hands from Troskovitz.
And did they do anything to you?
No, they just tied me up. But they were Yakesh's hands. They would have killed me.
Yakesh. I might have known he wouldn't leave us in peace. Hasn't he hurt us enough already? Isn't it enough that we have to live here because of him?
Ma.
I knew it would come to this. Henry, I need one last service from you.
I'd be glad to help.
Yakesh is to blame for everything. For us being driven out, for Pavlena being abducted.
And for everything else.
Everything leads back to him and his old hatred. We'll never have peace as long as he's alive.
What are you trying to say?
I want you to kill him.
What? Are you serious?
Yes. It's either him or us.
I understand. And I agree. I'll do what you ask. It's only right and just.
You will? It really must have been the will of God that you crossed our path. Thank you, Henry.
Your farmhands murdered Roman and abducted Pavlena, the herb woman's daughter.
So what you told me was true? Good Lord.
Straw admitted everything, so I dealt with him according to the law.
Jesus Christ! Why would they do something like that?
They did it to get in your good books. For taking revenge on Bozhena.
My God! I never wanted anything like that. When I get drunk, I curse her, aye, but I never wanted anyone to kidnap her daughter or murder anyone. I didn't put anyone up to it. They did it on their own, and it's their own bloody fault. Jesus Christ! That's the last thing we need, a mess like this. I have to square things up with Thrush.
Look, I know relations between you and Bozhena the herb woman aren't good, but it's time to put an end to the animosity.
Where are you going with this? That witch deserves no pity.
I understand your bitterness, and I'm sorry about your son. Bozhena would certainly have saved him if she could, but whatever happened between you, it has to end now. Bozhena came very close to losing her daughter on account of your feud.
Your farmhands abducted her. And they killed her sweetheart.
But I had nothing to do with that. They did it of their own free will, not on my orders.
That means nothing. They did it because of you. They wanted you to be indebted to them.
But that's not my fault, and I don't see why I should have to make up with Bozhena on account of it.
Well, whether you ordered it or not, you're still guilty. Like it or not, you've got blood on your hands. Roman is dead. Dead. You understand? Dead because of some old feud he had absolutely nothing to do with. And neither had Pavlena.
Fuck! You're right. I'll send Bozhena compensation. I never wanted anything to happen to her daughter, and she's the one who suffered most from that banishment. She can't have been more than 10 years old. I give my word that I won't do anything bad to them, and those two fools of hands, they won't show up here again. And if they do, I'll haul them off to the bailiff myself.
I've already dealt with your hands.
Oh. Good. Good. But my offer still stands. Bozhena and Pavlena could return to the village.
Very well. It's about time this chain of vengeance was broken for good. Give me the money, and I'll take it to Bozhena. But God alone knows whether she'll forgive you.
Thank you. It's time for us all to get on with our lives. I hope Bozhena will understand that.
About Yakesh,
Is it done?
I didn't kill him because I finally managed to get him to agree.
Agree? On what?
I told him everything, and it was clear from his reaction that he wasn't directly to blame. His farmhands did it all by themselves. He was so sorry that he gave me coin for you and Pavlena in recompense. It's quite a lot of money. Pavlena could use it.
And you really believe him? That he'll leave us alone?
Well, I don't think he'll ever forgive you. But I believe he won't try to hurt you anymore.
I hope you're right. I'd hate to regret it later. Thank you, Henry. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. You should keep half the coin.
No, I can't accept it. Pavlena will need the money more than I do.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. Keep it.
Henry, what would we do without you? God himself must have sent you to us. If it wasn't for you, I'd have lost my daughter. I'll be forever grateful to you. If you need anything, come and visit us. We'll be happy to see you.